So this isn't a video about tech startups or politics or work or fundraising or investments or anything probably remotely useful for what people perhaps like to engage with in the content that I post online. Instead, what I wanted to share, and this is going to be a very informal video, I think I'm going to be reading off my phone, but what I wanted to share was some mental models that I've been using lately. I've been going through a bit of a rough time recently, and instead of doing my usual thing, which is just to repress any bad feelings I have and just get really busy, dive into, just jumping on a plane and going to a new country or diving into a new project or getting into a new relationship or something like that, where you're just transferring feelings, and you just transferring whatever it is that you're not dealing with into whatever it is. The fact that I'm starting a YouTube channel is or revitalizing my YouTube channel is besides the point. This is a mini project, okay? I'm not using this as a distraction. What I am doing is using the time to kind of see why there are recurrent patterns in my life that I don't really like. And I want to sit with them and figure out, just some stuff that I've needed to figure out for a very long time. And there's this phrase that came to mind a few weeks ago: the pain is the portal, which is so but it helps ground me a lot in this journey that I'm on at the moment and not wanting to really run away from that. So I wrote a document because sometimes when you're feeling really bad, you just want out of that, and you want to perhaps relapse into what you usually do. For me, is always distracting myself, getting really busy with work or traveling or just doing stuff and then not fixing toxic recurrent patterns. So I wrote a document of mental models for how to deal with being in a phase of your life that you don't, let's say, necessarily like. Yeah, and hopefully if someone finds this that helps them, that would be worth me rambling into a camera for a while. And it's on my phone, obviously. All the greatest thoughts of millennials and Gen Zs are on iPhones, on my notes. So I'm just going to read it off and share my thoughts on that as I go. So one of my housemates just made rusks, and the whole house smells so good, and so I had to go grab one. Part of me really wishes I hadn't just shoved it down my throat so fast. I could have showed you guys the rusk. It was so beautiful. I don't know if my non-South African followers, we don't know what a rusk is. It's like the shape of a scone, but it's really hard. It's like biscuits, but crunchier than a biscuit, but the shape of a scone. It's just the perfect snack, along with biltong. So here it is. The very first thing I have on this list is I made my shopping list also on this document. There's a list of round to do items, a shopping list, some Digs Connect tasks, my Amazon shopping list. Something I want to say to someone that when I see them next, when you write notes of things you want to say to people when you see them in person, and then I get to the rest of the actual document. So the document's called Techniques for Feeling Better in This Weird Phase That You're In, for walking through the door and leveling up. So the first thing, which actually isn't on the list, but now that I'm talking I want to say, is just how important it is to laugh. Oh man, the funniness of the world absolutely disappears when you feel bad. Nothing is funny, everything is just sad songs, the world's smallest violin playing. It's just sad, and life's this tragedy, isn't it? And if you're heartbroken, every love movie is an affront. You're on the tube or the train, or you see a couple, you just or if you're struggling with, let's say work, and it feels God, it's just everywhere you just feel like you're seeing reinforcements about how you're not good enough in a way sometimes. And there's no humor in that, so it's hard to kind of really laugh. So I'm hoping that if you're watching this and you're in a bad place, in my ridiculousness, and continue laughing. Literally, my cheeks get so sore with these chipmunk cheeks. All I do is laugh, especially when I feel like upset. Now I'm actually having fun, I promise. It just like breaks that tension straight away. So as much as possible to laugh, you know, the people in your life, friends, that make you laugh is important. Movies, everyone says that social media can be a bit toxic, but sometimes if you know certain comedians, I like Theo Von, he's so funny. And I know if I want to laugh, I can watch his content, and I just feel like, you know, so I think laughing is so important, and that also comes from doing things that you enjoy. That's kind of funny. So that's actually my first one, which isn't on my list, but this is why I think talking about things that are on our mind is so important, because you kind of learn by teaching. Not that I'm teaching right now, I don't know. Rambling, perhaps you learn by rambling. Okay, so what I have on the list, number one here, is what is the story you're telling yourself about the situation, about yourself? We believe the stories we tell about ourselves and situations and people. So tell yourself the story that you want to be true. And I don't mean like be delusional here, but it's kind of like if something bad happens, you can like paint yourself as the victim and be like, oh, it was so terrible, I'll never come back from that. Does the story you're telling make you feel like you're strong and capable and exciting and cool and all these fun things and life's an adventure? Or is the story painting you into a corner? So just be quite clear about the stories you're telling to yourself about yourself and situations, and just make them, you know, positive.